Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Everybody okay? Here I am in that box. Okay, we're moving that box, so I'm in the normal spot. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing okay. I got some news. Hey, Beth. How are you? Jackie's here. You guys could say more than just hi. You could be like, wow, Mr. Noah, I miss you. That'd be nice. Who else is here? There is 12 people on right now. All right. I got some news. So maybe good news, maybe bad news. First of all, don't forget to take attendance today. Make sure you sign in to your attendance. My ubiquitous clandestine informants down in Springfield have said probably school's going to be e-learning for the rest of the year. We'll see. Government is going to make an announcement either this week, today, or he's going to make an announcement next week, but that might be happening. So our plan is then, therefore, I know that's probably disappointing for some of you and exciting for those of you I haven't seen before. I'm going to start after 3 weeks. We're going to make sure 3 weeks of e-learning and 5 weeks of not seeing you. Tell your friends. Tell your friends, because I haven't seen a few people, and I'm not going to show up to your house. That'd be really creepy. Not that I wouldn't, just to get you to pass the AP test. But tell your friends. If you know people that really aren't logging on or aren't doing stuff, get them a little motivated. Help them out, because it looks like we're going to be doing this the rest of the year. Now, for our purposes, the rest of the year is seniors. You'll probably be done, if you take a look at a calendar, you'll probably be done the first week of APs. Is when school officially, like your seniors, you get out a little earlier and stuff like that. So if you look at a calendar here, when school officially gets out, just pull up a calendar here. When school, the week of our official last day of school is May 22nd. Okay, so if you're looking at a calendar right now, our AP test is May 12th. And poor Mrs. Noah, her AP test is May 22nd. So she's got it's good, because then you all got a goal to work for, just like we do. We got a goal to work for here. Okay, so our AP test is May 12th. I think May 13th, now don't quote me on this one, but I think May 13th is the seniors' last day, because there's not going to be any finals that last week. But I think the seniors' last day is going to be somewhere around May 13th. I don't know what's happening for graduation and stuff like that. They're processing the survey that they sent out. We'll have to see on that. So we take the AP test and we get all back together on Wednesday and see how it goes, and tell me about the problems. Maybe we could go over the problems right then and there, and then I will see you in college. For seniors and juniors, you'll still be here, and we'll play Yahtzee or figure out some games we could play afterwards. Okay, but you know what that does? That gives us 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks to work on AP tests. Now you gotta, as I said, if it's to be, it's up to me. This is on you. You have to stay motivated. You have to stay working, and you have to be and say, Mr. Noah, like a couple people emailed me, we're going to do this first problem here that you saw, 8.12. You got to say, Mr. Noah, I'm stuck on this problem. I don't know how to do this problem. Let's work on it. Luckily for us, we have it all. We're good. And I'm now going to try to make some predictions, and who knows, but I'm going to go start reviewing some type of AP problems that I think might be good AP problems for the actual AP test, but you don't know. You never know how it's going to go. So we'll see how it is. So what you want to do is you want to stay motivated for yourself. This is like college. Okay, you will be taking some online classes at college, and like in college, you just got to keep up with the material and stuff. And you guys, for the most part, are doing it. There's 5 or 6 people here in BC Calc, excuse me, that aren't putting forth the effort, but I'll handle those on an individual basis. But you gotta be working on this. Just checking in is not going to school. And yeah, I know there are people that have legitimate reasons But sleeping in is not a legitimate reason. So there's your little motivational talk for today. And you guys, like I said, you're here now. But the people that are watching this later, or the people that never watch this, it's like, who am I talking to? So you guys keep it up. I want you to keep it up. Those are the information I have. So probably school will be doing this the rest of the year. Probably the last day of seniors is the 12th or 13th, somewhere around there that week, just like normal. And then there is no finals, but the week of the finals, see now that we got to work on people that checked out a book. I know I got a list, not many, but there was a few of you that checked out a book. I got to get that book back. You got to clean out your lockers. So they got to work on, logistics of getting small groups of people back in school to fix stuff, to take care of stuff. So I'll keep you informed on that, and then nothing's official until every governor makes his announcements and things like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep it. That's the information I had, and so I'd like to share that with you. If you have any questions or comments, send me an email if you don't want to say it on Chad here, or we could go on our. We haven't been using our our Discord channel because I don't think people wanted to use that. But if you're like, I need to talk to you, Mr. Noah, let's go on the Discord channel and we could talk. Or you could, I don't know, come by here and just put up a basketball hoop in the front because the boys are getting a little antsy in the house. They're playing too much computer games. They got off of Minecraft. Now they're playing Roblox. I don't know if everybody heard that. They all could network together, and they network with their little buddies and little friends around, and they all could get on one place. Anybody know what Roblox is? Roblox, I think it's called. And so they do a little networking right there. So stay busy. Keep going, Mr. Noah. I had to. Okay, Mrs. Noah put me on a diet. That's it. I have to. She hit me with the car the other day. I said, "Why didn't you go around me?" She said she didn't have enough gas. So I will have to go on a diet because I'm staring at the computer screen and I'm filling up more and more of this computer screen. So we're going to have to change that. Turning in the AP problem set is just submit it. You just submit it on Schoology is the easiest, or send me an email. I mean, however you want to do it. Send me an email, attach it. Like people seem to that email thing. It's not a fad. It's staying here. So a lot of people just turn stuff in that way. You can submit it on Schoology if you want. I don't know if I set up something to submit now that I'm thinking about it. If you want to try, and next week we'll have some more, a nice little system, hopefully, to try, and then do a demo. We'll do a demo together, working through the AP test on what you're going to have to do. So right now, though, just send me the 3. There's 3. Your assignment this week, remember, was the 3 each Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be turning in the 3 problem sets for the week. The assignment on Tuesday, remember, that was just to send me a question that you were stuck on. And most people did it. This, like I said, the same people didn't do it. And then yesterday, your assignment was to check the answers. Check the answers online. And I put a little check on who. I'm not going to show it to you because that'd be mean. Who you're just supposed to check in. Okay, yeah. So what is easier for you, everybody? Just let me know what's easier for you. Just send an email or putting a little submission button on Schoology. It's fine by me. It doesn't matter to me. I could do either one. Since you got to take a picture of it anyway, I thought sending an email would be easier for everybody. There's 3 problem sets. There's the 8.11 and 8.12 and 8 and 7.3-9. There's 3 problem sets this week. If you look on week 3 Elearning on Schoology, if you look there, you see the 3 problem sets, then their weekly schedule, and then there is. I'm going to show that while I'm sitting here. Maybe take a look. Oh, that's not it. Okay, why is that not showing up? All right, hold on. We're going to work on that. The computer. 1 second here. Nothing's showing up there. All right, wait. Yeah, 1 second. There you go. So if you take a look on Schoology, I should put a green screen on here. That'd be fun. If you look on Schoology, this is week 3, e-learning right there. So we go to e-learning. You know how this works. If this is the first time you're seeing it, well, good, you're trying. E-learning week 3. Here's the 3 problem sets. There's the schedule for the week, and here's the 3 answer sheets. And that's how I check to see if you did your assignment yesterday. So I could put a submission button up here. I could do that when I could work on that today, or you could just email it to me. Whatever works best for you. It's completely up to you. Just I want to make your things easier for you, but still you have to, get your work done. You have to stay on task, because it is your grade. And who cares about grades? It is your AP. And remember, you're only going to have 2 questions. And so you got to be on game on those 2 questions. So if you're, you don't want to be like, oh, I have no idea what this is going on. You just got to keep practicing. It's like anything else. You got to keep sharpening the axe to cut the tree down. You can't just, stop cutting the tree down in 5 weeks and think you're going to take the AP test. Now, they do have the option, and I don't suggest this, because you guys are pretty good, but they do have the option of taking A/B test, and you could call your counselor on that and say, hey, I just want to take the A/B test. A/B test is, remember, just objectives unit 1 through 7 is the A/B test, and ours are 1 through 8, 9, and then 10 is series and sequences. So there's really not much. A couple series and sequences questions, and that's what we're going to work on in the next couple weeks. But maybe next week we'll do a lot of series and sequence review and stuff like that. So, you do have that option. I'll share that with you. But like I said, I think you guys are, when I left you were pretty good. Now, if you haven't done anything, not you guys, because you guys are here right now, but some of the people, some of your friends who haven't done anything, try to motivate your friends. It's like college. Remember we said about college. You're only going to have the for every class, the most amount of time is going to be outside of class. You're only going to really have, like if you're taking a 3-credit class, you're only in that class for 3 hours, probably less than that. You're only in that class for like 2.5 hours a week. So all the work is really done outside of class. So might as well get used to this now. And if you're used to it by now, great. If you're struggling, okay, let's work on it. Talk to me. Find a group of friends. Okay, and you know how you could do it online. I don't want you to meet each other and get each other sick or anything like that. But, work together. Find some friends. Insta-face or whatever you kids do nowadays, and talk to each other and try to work out the problems. That's what we're trying to do here. And we just have a big group and answering questions and trying to work stuff out. So that's really what college is going to be like. Now, probably you're going to be face-to-face in college. But here, this is just online college. We'll think of it like that. Okay? Remember, if you have any questions, there's posted in your chat right now, or send me a personal email if it's something you don't want to put in chat, whatever. So let's get started. Like I said, I want to do problem set. Take a look. I want to do the first one. A couple people are asking about the first one. Okay, so take a look at what we got here. And then think about the questions. Like I said, think about questions you want to ask. All right, we have region R. We got g of x. Let's put it over here. G of x is -2 plus 3 cosine of pi x over 2. Okay, there's g of x. And then f of x, let's find f of x, h of x. H of x is 6 minus 2 parentheses, we'll put it over here, 6 minus 2 parentheses x minus 1 squared. The y-axis, the line x equals 2, there's the region that we want to find. And this is a little good review for everything. All right, so what is the question asking? Okay, they're saying, first of all, we need to find the area. Okay, and we had a nice little picture of the area right there, so that should be pretty straightforward. And just review, remember when we're finding area, we got one going like this, and we got one coming, arcing up like that. They gave you the picture. And here's 2, and there's the y-axis. So we're trying to find the area here. Now remember, finding the area, what we did is we did a practice rectangle. That was our little strategy. Okay, we just should we draw it vertically or horizontally for area? And always try vertically first. Now give that rectangle motion. Move it back and forth. Give it some motion, back and forth. Okay, is it the top always this function and the bottom always this function? If you say yes, then you know top minus bottom. Now, which one's the top and which one's the bottom? If you're ever stuck, all you got to do is go to 0, for example. If I plug in 0 right here, you see, if I plug in 0 to h of x, I get, it was cubed. Hold on a second. If I plug in 0 to h of x, it's 4. And if I plug in 0 for cosine of 0 is 0. Okay. No, cosine of 0 is 1. No, cosine of 0, plug in 0. 0 is 1. 3, so it's 1. So we got 4 up here, 1 up here. So this is h of x, and this is g of x. And of course, it's with calculator. So if you could use your calculator, you could use your calculator on that. Okay? So, top minus bottom. So you set up the integral. It wanted to find r. And remember, it's with calculator, so you're just going to set it up, and then you're going to use the calculator to solve it. Dx, since our practice rectangle is vertical. And you could present h of x minus g of x. Keep that in parentheses, because there's your top minus bottom. That's not squared. That's 2. And then it's from 0 to 2. There's part A, and I think that was okay on part A. And was that okay? Everybody happy with that? Okay, I think the questions were on B and C. Okay, B said this is the base. And the solid, the cross-section's perpendicular to the x-axis. Okay, so that was here. And has an area, now here comes what probably people were a little stuck on. It has an area of 1 over x plus 3. Now, okay, remember, get a blank sheet of paper here. Remember, the formula for volume is always the integral area of the cross-section. I should put of cross-section. This should be in your notes. D something, dx or dy. Area of the cross-section times dx or dy. There's the formula for volume. Usually they say the cross-sections are isosceles triangles. Okay, we know how to find the area of an isosceles right triangle. The areas are rectangles. Okay, we know the formula for finding the area. Well, this particular problem gave us the formula for area. They said the area formula, so it didn't say what type of object it is. It said the area formula is 1 over x plus 3. There's the area formula. And it also said it's perpendicular to the x-axis. Okay, perpendicular to the x-axis, that's like where my practice rectangle looks right there. So perpendicular to the x-axis is dx. So right here, that's the volume formula. Don't get nervous if you're like, oh, how come I didn't square it? How come I didn't do this? Where's the pi? It just specifically said that's the formula for area of any cross-section. Whatever the cross-section you want. So they gave you the formula for the area of the cross-section. So I just put the area of the cross-section right there. I know it's dx because that's perpendicular to the x-axis. And there's my smallest x to biggest x. So it's a little easier than you think. Just don't overthink it. Don't try to put circles. Don't try to put a pi in there. The harder ones are when we have to figure out what the area of the cross-section is. That's like the next one. But they're telling you this is what the area of the cross-section is. So that's just straightforward. Okay, like I said, look at C. This time it says the cross-section is rotated, generated by rotating around the line y equals 6. Okay, now let's make sure we see. Let's put y equals 6 right here. Okay, y equals 6 is up here somewhere. Y equals 6. Remember, this was right there. That was 4. So somewhere around there, y equals 6. Maybe it touches. Maybe it doesn't. It doesn't intersect it. So we're looking at y is equal to 6 right there. Okay? So let's just double check. The highest h of x goes, for example, at 1. It does touch. See, if I plug in a 1 right there, 0, 0, so you get 6. So it is a little point. I'm not going to redo it, but it's a little point that's tangent to it. Okay? It never intersects it. It's either above it or below it. It's a little more complicated a problem if the axis of rotation goes through the object. And we don't have to do any of those. So you got to think, is it above it or below it? Okay, so hole or no hole, just like we were reviewing. Do we have hole or do we have no hole? Okay, on this one, since even though it touches it at one spot, that doesn't mean it touches it everywhere. That shaded region has to always be on that line. And since it's curved, there's no way that's always going to be on that line. So this is hole. And so the same formula I did, the integral, but this time, pi, and let me get some colors here, big radius squared minus pi, and we got little radius squared. Remember, like we said, same thing as we did before. And we'll say dx or dy in a second. Same thing we did before. There is the formula for the area of the cross-section. Just like the last problem. There was the formula for the area of the cross-section. It's the same thing. That's the formula for area of the cross-section. Okay, and the rectangle's going, let's draw in the blue and black. Okay, let's do a better blue. Put my pen, remember, put your pen on the axis of revolution and go to the further function. It doesn't matter if it goes below the x-axis, doesn't matter. And then black, put my pen on the axis of revolution and go to the function. Notice, I'm not using this at all. I'm not using that. You see that? So I just got to figure out those distances. But notice they're all vertical, so that tells me this is dx. So check your work. Smallest x is 0, biggest x is 2. Pi, remember how we said, do that so you don't forget stuff. Dx. Set it up. All right, blue. Top minus bottom. Top is 6. Bottom is g of x. So blue is 6 minus g of x. Oh, wait, black. I drew black to the farther one still. Nope, sorry, black should stop right here. Sorry. Black should stop right there. My fault. Top minus bottom for black. 6 minus h of x. You could use g of x and h of x since the problem defined them. And there is your formula for that. You see that? How's that look? Is everybody feeling okay on that? All right. Let me know in the comments. Remember, does anybody have another one? You have the answers. Does anybody have another problem that we should go over that you're stuck on? Remember, if you're stuck on something, here's the time to ask. That was the only one that somebody emailed me, so that's the only one I wanted to go over. And the answers are there with points. Notice about the answer document, the points are there also. 7.3, number 2. Yeah, don't be shy. Just post them up here, and then we'll go over it and talk about it. Okay, 7.3, your 7.3, number 2. All right, so what they're talking about, we're going to, 7.3, yeah, just post them up. There's another one for 7.3, number 2. It says you got a certain rumor is spreading at this rate. Okay, a certain rumor is spreading at this rate. We got dy dt. Oops, sorry. Dy dt. This is 7.3, number 2. Dy dt is equal to 2y, parentheses, 1 minus y. Okay? And this is the proportion of the population right there. You see that? All right, so notice I got to look at that. Now, when you look at that, what type of problem is that? Okay, that's the question. What is that thing? Hey, what type of problem are we talking about there? You see how this is, you got to recognize this as a logistic problem. Okay? So everybody, first of all, let's make sure we're good at that. Can everybody recognize that as logistic? And if you can, now then right away you're flipping over to your logistic, you're flipping over to your logistic equation and stuff. You see that? And remember logistic, the things we had about logistic is we had the graph. Okay, first of all, looks like this. There's a horizontal asymptote. That's the limit. And right here, and remember this is t, and this would be y. Right there is when it's growing the fastest. So for number one, when is the population growing the fastest? The population is spreading the fastest at half the carrying capacity. Okay, so what is the carrying capacity on this problem? 100%. Everybody see that? Because remember, these are proportions, these are percentages. So 100% right there. And then, okay, it must be growing the fastest at half of that. You see? Does that make sense? Everybody okay with that? Yes, no? Here's where that's number one. And I'm just let's look at the points where the problem gave us. So it's growing the fastest. So they wanted point-wise. This was a 2-pointer, they're saying. So they wanted the points for saying that it's growing the fastest. They took the derivative. Here's what they did. They said, all right, they want to find the maximum and minimum. So they took the derivative, and then they said, all right, so the second derivative, or when it's the maximum of this derivative, is 2 minus 4y, which is equal to 0. So when y is 1/2. They said that. That's what they were implying there to get that 2 points right there. Okay? That's number one. Now, at what time is it growing the fastest? And that's probably not an AP question, but remember, if you're looking at logistic, we had a nice little formula. Okay, and make sure it's in your notes. We had to, if this is a logistic equation, I'll put it right next to it. If this is the logistic equation, then the formula was, remember we had the carrying capacity. So let's do M for the carrying capacity. 1 minus C e to the, I think they used A instead of C actually. I think the book used A, e to the negative mkt. That should be in your notes also. That is the formula for carrying capacity. If you did separation of variables like people were talking about and you solved it, this is what you would have got. Okay? And so, like I said, probably that's not going to be on the AP test. But this is how you solve for the t. So if we're looking at this particular situation, k is 2, m is 1. Okay, and did they give us, that's probably why they didn't put an answer, they didn't give us the initial condition. Let's see. Yeah, they didn't even give us the initial condition. I don't see anywhere in that problem. So on number 2, I doubt they're going to have us solve that. Let's see. At what time is it growing the fastest? 1 point. So did they have us do separation of variables on that? Yeah, I think that they changed the formula. If I'm looking at the actual AP test right now, if you look at the actual AP test where they took this problem from, it was like, let me see, let me try to find it. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, they're showing actually on the actual AP test, they're showing the separation of variables. And yeah, what they're doing is they're putting they did this formula, which this is kind of maybe a little older here. They did the formula for the growing the fat at what time to solve that. Y over 1 minus y is equal to 1. Yeah, okay, we're not going to worry about that. I'm trying to, that would not be good to teach new here. That just confused people. So we're going to pass on that one on number 2. because it's like, well, where are they getting that formula from? And that formula is, we're going to pass on number 2 here. I should have put that one on there because that formula, we didn't study that formula, and that's not in the AP anymore. So let's pass on that one. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have put that on there because we're not going to teach that formula again. Let's move on to 8-12. Let's go to 8-12. Number, which one? 4, 5, and 7. All right, so let's look at 4. I shouldn't have the answer. I should have the regular. All right, so we got a region on number 4. And here's the function. Maybe we'll get back to that one. Oh, we'll try to show that, but that's not there anymore. F of x is equal to x to the 4th minus 2.3 x to the 3rd plus 4. There's f of x. This is number 4. Okay, 8-12, number 4. This is number 4 here. Okay, and it says it's a horizontal line. If you look at the picture, okay, we have a little horizontal line. This kind of bumps down like this, and we have a horizontal line right there at y equal 4. And notice at 0, that's 4, so they cross right there. Find the volume rotated around the y equals -2 is what the question is asking us to do. This is number 4. Find the volume, and let me get a different color here. Rotating around y equals -2, that would be down here. Here's y equals -2. Okay? And if we're rotating around that, let's ask the question, hole or no hole? Okay? Is this a hole or is there no hole around this? And take a look. We got no hole right there. So we're going to set it up. I'm sorry, with hole. And let me give it 2 colors. I put my pen on the x revolution. Go to the further function. And then I put my pen on the x revolution. Go to the closer function. You see, there's going to be a hole right here. So we got the integral and smallest to biggest. Now remember, we got to find these values. At 4 right here, here's where we got to use our calculator, because right there at 4, that was 0. But over here at 4, we're going to need to grab our calculator. Let me get a calculator here. We're going to need to grab our calculator and figure out what that intersection point is. And we've done that a few times already. And so is that okay? You don't have to show that. Is that okay? They got 2.3. They got that equal. That's 2.3 right there. So they go from 0 to 2.3 of pi, big radius, I put in black, squared, minus pi, and little radius I did in red, squared, dx. You see that? So, what's black? Black is top minus bottom. So, black is 4 minus -2. Watch your negative signs there. I'm just filling everything else in. And red was top minus bottom. Red was the function minus -2. And I'm filling everything else in dx. That was number 4. You see that? And we're just moving quick, so you got to stop me and say, I'm kind of stuck right there, and we could talk about it. Can we go to number 5? Okay, 5 is kind of like the same thing. People are asking about number 5. Okay, we have 2 different functions. And 5, the first one, part 1, okay, 5 says find but do not follow the area rotated around the horizontal line y equals 4. Oh, so nothing changes even though 2 goes through the graph. -2. It wasn't 2. Take a look. They wanted to rotate it around -2. You see, they're probably not going to have something that goes through the graph. You see that, Zoe? Take a look at that while we're doing number 5. I'll keep that on the side here. So on 5, we want to say that region. Let's draw that region out. You got a little parabola right there. And then you got something coming up here. They're crossing at 0. So crosses there and crosses there. And it looks like the parabola, we got cosine. So cosine is 0. So this one's cosine. So this one is on top here, g of x. And on the bottom here, this is f of x. F of x is down there. Zoe, did you see that? Did you see it was going through -2? And let's keep going to number 5 while she's taking a look at that. Y equals 4. Now remember, y equals 4 is up here. Okay. You had, it should be, let me draw green here. Here's our line right here. Green is y equal 4. This time, you see the difference between this one and this one. This is below, this is above, but it doesn't matter. We're using our same strategy. The big radius is put my pen on the x revolution and go to the further function. And the little radius is put my pen on the x revolution and go to the closer function. And the distance of that is still top minus bottom. So in this one, we got the integral still, dx. And we got from, notice, 0 to 4. No, is that 2? 0 to 2. And it's pi and big radius squared minus pi little radius squared. And big radius is black again. And still top minus bottom. So 4 minus f of x. And small is 4 minus g of x. G of x is a smaller function. Whereas the other one, notice the other one was f of x minus -2. They did the function first. Well, this one, top minus bottom, is the x revolution first. Okay, that was number 5. Aman, what do you think? Take a look at that one while we go to number 7. See if that answered your question. We'll keep that. That was number 5. And then we had number 7. 7 says set up here. Okay, so we got a region. Let's find, let R be the region of first quadrant. We got a parabola, or a hyperbola. So we got x squared minus y squared equals 9. And then we got the x-axis and 5. Now you could, if you want to graph it, like x squared minus y squared is equal to 9. Remember the minus. Remember what the minus is. You got a hyperbola right there. But if you aren't sure, remember what we could do is just solve for y. Y squared is equal to x squared plus 9. Take the square root. Okay, so you got y squared. Oh, I'm sorry, minus 9, because it's a parabola. Minus 9. And now we can just plug in some points there if you're unsure. There you go. Yeah, always draw the picture, Amon, so you can do top minus bottom. Right? Move that over. So we have, and it's good. It's good that people like Zoe and Amon just had a great thing because they just learned from their mistakes. And it really wasn't that you didn't understand the concept. Everybody's going to make a silly mistake. So take your time on the AP test and make sure you're answering the question. Let's go to number 7, setup. So we got this region, and you can use your calculator, like I said, if you're unsure, if you're like, well, what's it going to be? But it's the x-axis and x equals 5. Remember, x equals 5 is over here. And if the x-axis is over here, right, there's your x-axis. And this region, if you want to plug in some points there, for example, it starts where? It doesn't start at 0. I can't plug in 0 right here. It starts at 3. And then kind of swoops from here. And remember we said it's a hyperbola, so it would go like something like that. Okay, but it says the region, a single variable was rotated, in the first quadrant. It said only in the first quadrant. So this is only the region that we're concerned about. Okay, so how are we on the picture, first of all? Is that picture okay? Who was asking about this? June. Is that picture okay so far? So now we want to rotate it around, and I'll get my pen out. X equals -1. So this time, x equals -1 is over here. Here's x equals -1. Okay, so remember, okay, same idea. Nothing changed. I'll put my pen on the x revolution, go to the further function. Oh, look, I'm going horizontal this time. I'm going horizontal. And then the small one, I put my pen on the x revolution, go to the closer function. I'm going horizontal here. Okay, so what does that mean when I set it up horizontal? That means dy. Everything's in terms of y. Now, that's going to be helpful when I'm solving for this. Everything's going to be terms of y. Okay, so let's plot some points. This is 0, 0. No, not 0, 0. This is 0, 3, 0. This one was 5, 0, right? 5. Yeah, 5, 0. And over here, probably, let's see if we plug in 5 for x. We get, 4 looks like a good perspective here. 5, 4 is that point. Right? Let's just double check. When x is 5 and y is 4, yeah, we get 3. So, smallest y, biggest y, and now black, so pi big radius squared minus pi little radius squared, since it's obviously not touching the green. Okay, so black goes from bigger minus smaller. Now remember, right minus left. Okay? Right minus left. So right is this line, y equals 5. Left is, wait, x? Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was, no, x equals -1. Yeah, x equals 5. X equals -1. So it would be, let me write in black. It would be 5 minus -1. You see that? X equals 5. That's the black. Okay. Red is the function. Now, what is that? X equals. So we got to solve for x. So if I solve for x, I'm moving the y over. So I got 9 plus y squared square root. So I got the square root of 9 plus y squared minus -1. I squeeze that in there. Let me write that a little bigger. 9 plus y squared excuse me, minus -1. That's what goes there. You see that? Because it's the bigger function, and this should be in red. The bigger function here minus the little function. The little function is -1, so x equals. Don't forget x equals. If I solve for x, I move the y over, so I got 9 plus y squared. Take the square root. I got square root of 9 plus y squared. So there is the equation. There's the function that we're looking for there. Okay, is that okay? And if you're looking at the answer key, that's the washer. That's the washer explanation that we're talking about there. They don't do shell anymore. So I got 6 squared. So that's 36. That's where 36 comes from. Oh, I got my sign wrong. Why? Is it minus in the problem? Hold on. I got my sign wrong. The equation was, no, I think it's going to be plus. They got the equation y. They got dy, but they got 9. I'm thinking it's 9 plus. I think that's a mistake. I think it's the square root of 9 plus y squared. Yeah. Yeah, better double check that. If you're looking at the answer key, it should be plus in there. All right. How about, I saw another person ask, let me look, 811, number 2. Okay, let's just finish up with 811, number 2. And let's see what 811, number 2 says. Just the bounds we're talking about. Okay, so we got, find the region in the first quadrant. So the first one, we have y equals e to the x, what is that, squared? Oh, I gotta zoom in. Yeah, it looks like e to the x squared. Okay, e to the x squared. Minus 1 in the... Nope, just a regular old minus 1. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's in the exponent. And then y equals 4x. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's in the exponent there. Yeah, we're going to go with it's not in the exponent. I don't remember this AP problem. All right. So like I said, we want to find the region in the first quadrant. So I get my calculator out. And I got y equals e to the x squared in the exponent, but minus 1 is not in the exponent. And then I have the line 4x. And let's see, it says in the first quadrant, so I should be pretty good from 0 to, let's try 10. 0 to 10, just seeing what happens. Maybe that's too much. Oh, maybe that's too little. Yeah, it's too much. And then there's that one, and there's the line. So let's just go from, change my window, 0 to maybe 3. And it looked like 10 was okay. So there's 0 to 3. There's the curve. And then here comes the line. You can see that. So we want to find the intersection. And as always, second calc. Find the intersection and get close to it. Enter 3 times. And we get some weird decimal right there. But they do, you see in the first quadrant, you see how they're intersecting. Who was asking about this? June, did that make sense? The bounds, right? The bounds. So it said, in this case, I got x equals 1.3661 and y equals, well, I'm not sure if we're going to use x or y. There's our bounds. Okay? And then if I want to find the area is, notice, the parabola or the line is on top, so top minus bottom. Don't forget your parentheses. Dx, and then since that's x, we're going 1.3 for the x. For part B, find the solid generated rotated around the x-axis. Okay, if we rotate this around the x-axis, take a look. There's a hole. But but like you're saying, the bounds. If there's a hole there, we're still from 0 to 1.3-ish. And then perpendicular to the y-axis is squares. So if we do square, let's do that one just for the fun. Okay, if this region is around the perpendicular to the y-axis, since we haven't had a y-axis in a while, the only difference is the cross sections are squares. And if they're squares, and if it's perpendicular to the y-axis, remember this part on the bottom here of the square is this part across, perpendicular to the y-axis. So we're using the y values. Okay, so it's got to be all the y values. So the bounds would have to be the 5.4645. We'd have to use the y value on that. Wasn't the bounds till 4. Maybe I'm entering the equation wrong. Let's see, maybe that exponent, let's try. If the answer key, I didn't look at the answer key, but if let's just change the equation. Maybe that 1, a formatting thing, maybe that 1 is in the exponent. Let's try it. Let's see if the 1 is the exponent. Let's go minus 1. If that's in the exponent, let's see if that makes the bounds of 4. Let's see if they cross there. There's the line. No, they don't cross at 4. Let me check the answer key and see if I could, maybe, is it cubed? Yeah, I'm just not seeing the, let me check that. Like 0 to 4. Let's see, here you could watch. Let's see. 0 to 4, this is 11, number 2, you say? Part A. All right, so maybe, is this number 2? Problem set. Here's number 2. There's the equation. Find the area. And part A, it has, well, it doesn't even have that same function. Yeah, that didn't copy very well because that's not even the same function. There's no e, right? Wasn't the function e to the x? Yep, I think we go with what we said here because take a look. The function's different. They're given e to the x squared minus 1, but in the answer key, there's no e to the x squared anywhere. It's just regular x squared. So if there wasn't e to the x squared, if it was just regular x squared, yeah, I think that's the issue. They have the different function right there. Okay, like I said, this is not the end-all, be-all, the AP test. They just photocopied it. They got some fixing to do. So, yeah, we're kind of running out of time here. But, yeah, so you're doing okay. I would go with, let's look at the picture here. If you're doing this one, I would go with these numbers. Let's change that. Just take a look. This is the e to the x squared minus 1. If you're doing this one, this is how they look, and there's your intersection point. So try it that way. Yeah, that's a different function there. All right. Like I said, a lot of stuff happening. Submit your tests, please. Okay, everybody submit your tests. The three, we have 3, 8, 11, 8, 12, and the 7, 3-9. So submit those, email them to me. I'll try to put something on Schoology also so you can submit them that way. I'll work on that today. But like I said, everybody this weekend, motivate yourself, get yourself all fired up because next week we start the same thing. Maybe we'll do some series and sequences next week and tell your friends that you haven't seen in a while. Say, hey, come on, get going, help each other out. Okay? Hopefully I'll have more information for you next week. Otherwise, everybody have a good, if you submit it on AP Central, like if you want to practice, uploading that to it, that's fine. So there's the 3 ways, like Jackie said. You could try to submit it on AP Central. You could send me a PDF of your work on Schoology, or right now email, and then I'll try to set it up on Schoology. So whichever way you did it is fine. Okay? All right. Have a good day, everybody. And I'm signing off.